Healing sucks, and here is why. Because that shit, it sucks.
I am going to be a very successful woman.
But in all seriousness, though, this fit. I know which. This face could be on a Vogue magazine. Like, stop me. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Savannah, aka Kelly Kills in this beach. And it has been so long since I've been on here. Literally so long. And that's why I think it's totally appropriate to reintroduce myself to this channel with a whole new, vamped reversion of myself, healed version of myself, if I say so myself. Here's why healing is a bitch. But it's extremely needed. Period. Y'all. If you know me, or if you think you know me, or if you're new here and you watch my other videos before here, listen, this is why this is so appropriate to talk about this, right? Because I was totally unhealed in those last couple of videos that I posted on this channel. Literally the most confused, hurt girl I've probably ever been and ever will be in my life. And here's why it sucked getting from A to B, okay? Because that shit was not a walk in the park. It was more literally a dangerous expedition filled with crocodiles, alligators, poisonous snakes, black holes, spiders, ghosts, demons, whatever you want to call them. It was scary, y'all. It was not fun. And yeah, so not to discourage anybody from healing, but let me just tell you from my experience, that shit was ass. But I'm blessed. I'm blessed and grateful. Like, let me not get it up here, right? I'm blessed and grateful that I went on that journey. I'm so blessed and grateful that I started my journey and I followed through with it, right? Because going through multiple dark nights of the soul and literally upgrading your whole life from the inside out, why would you expect that to not be painful, y'all? Because it is. It's like literally rebirthing yourself, right? So how I got into my own own healing journey is literally spiritual, right? I dropped my little notes. But yeah, that's how I started my healing journey, is really tapping into my spirituality and figuring out like who I was, right? Because I didn't know who I was. I did not know who I was. I did not know where I was going. I just kind of was on automatic, right? That's where a lot of people are doing nowadays. A lot of people are automatic and they're just not understanding their own purpose and they think that their lives don't matter, right? That shit's crazy to me. The more that I healed myself and the more that I respect myself, it becomes like a whole nother like world, right? Where you see people that are just every single day disrespecting themselves and their own purpose in life. And it's not like judging wise, but you see like, right? And you make that connection. Like for me personally, like I'm very empathetic. I'm very intuitive. I'm very psychic. And I deal with a lot of people every single day. And I'm happy and blessed that I'm healed, because I wouldn't be able to deal with these people and their problems if I didn't deal with my own damn problems, right? I'm talking to people. I talk to people from all across the state, right? All over America, and was talking to them about voting. A lot of them, when I would ask them, like, what are some things that are important to you, would be, I don't know. What do you care about? Yeah, it could be a possibility they just didn't want to talk to me, but at the end of the day, like, you know the difference between somebody that has morals and somebody that is completely lost. And it's not like to bash them, but it shows like how far down the rabbit hole you can truly get in your own self-pity. I was mad salty when I got told this, is that you're responsible for healing your own trauma. I was like,
be fucking for real. Like, are you serious? Like,
no, these bitches out here hurting me left and right, and I have to heal it? Me? Yes, bitch. You have to heal it. You have to figure it out, because you know what you truly deserve and what you truly desire out of this life, even if you forgot, right? Because I forgot. I'm gonna be completely honest. When I was a kid, I was totally full of myself, right? I was so confident. I was so outgoing. I know exactly what I wanted. I know exactly where I was going to go. That vision in my head and in my heart was so clear to me, right? I knew my purpose. And I let experiences, like traumatic experiences, I let teachers, principals, parents, family members tell me that my purpose wasn't going to happen, right? And that I was a fucking mess and that I was going to stay a mess. I used to have a giant, huge fear of failure because I got held back in the first grade and I really, really struggled in school. And it was very, very, very hard for me to find my confidence in school because, like, I got held back in first grade and I was like, got bullied for it because they were like, this bitch is dumb. Like, you don't learn nothing in first grade except for, like, the basics. And I failed at the basics because the teacher that I had for the first time that I was in first grade was a fucking bitch.
I just wanted to apologize real quick for keep saying right every 5 seconds. It's literally driving me insane. But yeah, carry on.
The point of me saying that is perception is everything. And that's really what your healing journey is about, is the way that you view the world, right? So let me use that example again about being in first grade. When I was in first grade the first time, my teacher was very mean and very cruel, right? And when I compare that to my healing journey, before I was healed, I was very mean and I was very cruel to myself and I was very hard on myself. It didn't give myself any real time to process the traumatic experiences that happened in my life. The same thing like my first grade teacher. She didn't give me time to process this brand new education that I was learning. Comparing it now to now that I'm on my healing journey, now that I'm healed, not fully, but better, way better, I compare that to my second first grade teacher, Miss Corridor, in the way that she was patient, kind, and gentle, empathetic, and gave me time to really sit there and think and feel and understand. But yeah, I just want to give that example to show how your perception is everything, right? And the way that you approach a situation is everything. Because you could either be a bitch ass first grade teacher or a super kind, gentle first grade teacher to yourself. You know what I mean? Don't be that mean ass first grade teacher to yourself and let that shit follow you, right? Because even when I was in a kind, loving space with Miss Corridor, I was still thinking about the evil cruelness that, my first bitch ass first grade teacher would say. Anyways. So yeah, that really followed me, and that was the downfall, I want to say, to my confidence and to my life, because half your life, at least the first quarter of it, you're in school, so it is really all about that and how you set yourself up. And when I would move on to different grades, I would always hold on to what that first grade teacher really did to me, which is really not show me any real true empathy and care about me not learning. It's not that I'm stupid, which sometimes I can lack common sense, but I just struggled with basic things. And I've always was really hard on myself about that. I was always super hard on myself, not even just a little bit. I was super hard on myself, and it took me forever to break out of that, right? And the second that I did break out of it and I started to get honor roll, I got my first honor card in 7th grade, and I was so proud of myself. So proud of myself, right? Because I'm fuck yes, I actually can do this. I got this. I had academic confidence for once in my life. And then something tragic happened that year in 7th grade. Other than the part that, I was going through personal trauma at home, which that's another story. But my 7th grade principal literally told me, you are going to be pregnant or on drugs by the time you get to high school, and you'll never graduate. You'll never walk that stage. Anger was the biggest umbrella emotion that I displayed, but all of those anger, it came from sadness, it came from fear, it came from feeling not good enough, and it also came from other people just projecting how their lives went to shit onto me, right? I graduated high school. I graduated high school with honors. I graduated during a pandemic. And I got out of high school and I realized what am I gonna do with my life? Focusing on healing. I was really meditating every day and like really trying to journal, but it didn't really hit me to like really start acting on these like healing practices until I realized I needed a way to make money. I was like, how am I gonna make money? Like, I can say probably last year, early 2021, zero communication skills. I did not know how to communicate. Not communicate with other people, and especially myself. Personal development, right? I had a mentor. Her name was Mo Wright. I love you, girl. Love her. She poured into me, right? That's all we need. We need somebody to pour into you. If you're gonna start your healing journey, either get a therapist, a mentor, or listen to like Bob Proctor, literally, because that changed my life and it changed my mindset, changed my frequency, and changed the whole way that I viewed the world. In the moment that I started shifting my focus on gratitude, on my goals, my desires, my passions, my dreams, and money, that's when I became happier. That's when I realized, wow, I don't want to feel like a depressed ass bitch that can't do nothing in this world anymore. And it took a lot of risk. It took a lot of uncomfortableness is the biggest thing. Like, being uncomfortable sucks. It really does. But it's so helpful to understand like who you are from a different perspective when you step out of what you're comfortable with and what you know. Escape what you know. Different. People treat you different when you approach life with a positive aspect and your chest up high and your chin up high, and you just walk with pride, and you walk with, that you're divinely protected and you're humble at the same time, because you know what it's like to be in a dark mindset. You know what it's like to be pain, and you know what it's like to feel suffering. And let me tell you something, the sucky parts of healing are all worth it, because a year ago from today, I was literally quitting everything that I was comfortable with, getting away from anything that was remotely making me feel stagnant or making me feel like I didn't have a purpose, or make me feel like I wasn't even supposed to be here living my life, right? I took that risk, but I deserved more, and I knew I deserved more. And God has a divine plan for me that's way better than working at working behind a cash register, working at a clothing store in the mall that was miserable. It was just miserable. Like, it had its moments that it wasn't miserable, but it was miserable. Not because of everybody, right? It's because it wasn't aligned with who I was, right? But it made me force myself to step into uncomfortableness, which is a huge part of why healing sucks. Because you have to be uncomfortable to learn, and you have to be uncomfortable to elevate. So, yeah. That's the suckiest part of healing, is being uncomfortable and facing things that you don't really want to face. But I want to tell you guys something. I want to end this on a positive note, and I hope what I'm saying is landing on people and it's resonating, because this is really my experience, and I don't want anybody to like try to compare it or try to like fit themselves in these situations, because everybody's different, right? This is
my experience. But I'm
telling you, you'll get the same end results if you do what I did, which is 1, be unafraid of taking risks. 2, to better yourself, right? Not to put yourself in danger, but take risks to better yourself. 2, be uncomfortable. Be willing to learn something that you just don't even want to agree with, or 2, understand. And 3, go for it. Go for it. Dream big. Dream as big as you can. Like, don't let anybody tell you that your dreams are unattainable and that you can't reach them. That's where I'm going to end this video on saying, not only did I heal my depression and somewhat of my anxiety, I know how to read myself. I nailed myself down, right? I studied myself inside out, and now I know how to study somebody else. Now all the aspects that I'm quote unquote ashamed of is the darkness, because I needed to be in the darkness to figure out how bright I could really shine. And that's a conversation for another video, but people don't understand that, the evilness in this world is what will help you find your purpose. Your unhealed aspects are what are going to help you find your talents. And I just encourage everybody to go through that sucky period of your life, go through the traumas of the emotions that you felt. Like, after you figure that out, and it will come back into you into full circle, and you'll never feel better, right? So that is the end of this video. I hope that shit was landing. I hope that it resonated a little bit. I know it was like completely like out of context, so just a tiny bit, but I'm going to be consistent as I can with this channel. I'm going to do my best with this channel because I'm proud of myself for finally getting here, for finally doing something that I wanted to do. Same with whatever you want to do. And I hope everybody has a blessed night. Again, my name is Savannah. Thank you for watching, speaking from my experience.